Hello students, today we will learn the next illustration number 4 relating to computation of business income. See here, following is the profit and loss account of Mr. Harish for the assessment year. See the profit and loss account. Debit side, to purchases rupees 6,28,000, to salaries and wages rupees 2 lakh, to rent rupees 1,20,000, to advertisement rupees 3 lakh, to travelling expenses rupees 2 lakh, to bad debt rupees 52,000, to general expenses rupees 3 lakh, to provision for taxation rupees 3 lakh, to addition to office building rupees 3 lakh, to fines and penalties rupees 1 lakh, to GST paid rupees 2 lakh 50,000, to income tax paid rupees 1 lakh 50,000. On the credit side, by sales rupees 58 lakh 7,500, by interest on fixed deposit net value 10,500, by bad debt recovered not allowed earlier or disallowed earlier rupees 20,000, by refund of income tax rupees 30,000, interest on income tax refund rupees 3,000, rent received rupees 80,000, winning from lottery net value is given rupees 49,000, profit and sale of shares rupees 2 lakh, dividend from of Infosys rupees 1 lakh. So the net profit is given is 34 lakh. So additional information: purchases include rupees 30,000 paid in cash, advertisement expenses include cost of neon signboard rupees 50,000, GST of rupees 30,000 for the previous year 2018-19 paid on 20th Jan 2020 but not included in the profit and loss account. Actual bad debt amounted to rupees 60,000. General expenses include 50,000 drawn by SSC. Compute the gross total income. So with this information we have to compute the gross total income. So this question is asked for the year BCom Mangalore University question paper May 2017 for section C. So here we have to compute the gross total income. So to find this gross total income, we have the various incomes which is taxable under different heads, and even we have the information relating to business. So now we have to calculate the business income first with the help of this profit and loss account and additional information. See here, on the debit side, they have shown some of the expenses. Now we have to check which are the allowed expenses and which are disallowed expenses. So the first one is to purchases. So here the Mr. Harish has purchased some of the materials. So there are value of the purchases is 6,28,000. So it is a allowed business expenses. For the businesses, they have to purchase goods. They have to purchase some goods. So purchase of material or any purchases is allowed business expenses. So they can write on the debit side of a profit and loss account as a debit side of a trading and profit and loss account as a expenses. Next, to salaries and wages. So salaries and wages. So the Mr. Harish has paid salaries and wages to his employees. So it is taken as a one of the expenses and should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. So it is allowed. To rent. So rent paid also taken as a business related expenses, and it is can be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. Then advertisement. So for every businesses there will be they have to incur advertisement expenses for encouraging their product to the customer. So advertisement is allowed business expenses. Then traveling expenses also treated as allowed business expenses. If this traveling is used for personal use, then it is disallowed. If there is no other information is given, then we have to take it as a allowed business expenses, assuming the traveling is entirely used for the official purpose. Then bad debt. So bad debt is allowed business expenses. General expenses also allowed business expenses. Provision for taxation. So all the provisions and reserves are disallowed. So disallowed we have to add it to the net profit. So disallowed expenses, provision for taxation. So we have to add it to the net profit. Then addition to office building. So there is expenses incurred relating to the addition to office building. So it is disallowed. It is in capital in nature. Additions to office building is disallowed because here example I have given is about the cabin. So when we have a 4 cabin in our office, so adding one extra cabin to the office, like adding one room to the office. So it is nothing but addition of office building, adding one extra room to the office. So it is in capital in nature, so it is disallowed. So addition to office building is disallowed. So if there is any repairs or repairs expenses incurred on this building, then it is allowed, but addition is in the form of capital in nature, should not be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. We have to add it to the net profit. Then fines and penalties, it is because of his mistake, so he has to pay the fines and penalties, so it is disallowed business expenses. It is not relating to business, it is a personal expenses. GST paid, so the tax paid on a goods and services is nothing but GST, so it is allowed business expenses. Income tax paid, income tax is paid on a personal income, so it is disallowed. Income tax paid is a disallowed. So this is about only 4 item disallowed on the debit side. Now see the credit side, which are the allowed income or disallowed income. So interest on fixed deposit, interest on fixed deposit. So here the Mr. Harish has received a interest income from a fixed deposit account in the bank. So that is the income he is receiving from other sources, not from a business income. So it should be taken as a disallowed income. So we have to deduct from a net profit. So this interest he is receiving from other source, here they asked to compute the gross total income. So while calculating gross total income under the head section 56 in income from other source, we have to take this interest on FD again under the head income from other source. So under the head income from other source, so the credit side items we have to do two treatment. One is we have to take it as a disallowed income, and others again while computing the gross total income we have to consider the sum of the credit side item. So the interest on fixed deposit is the income he is receiving from other source, so it should be taxable under the head section 56 income from other source. So here net value is given, so we have to gross up. Like for the interest on fixed deposit or interest on securities, the tax deducted will be 10%. So this is deducted value is 10% is deducted, net value is given, so we have to take gross up, that is nothing but 10,500 into 100 by 90 we have to do. Then bad debt recovered not allowed earlier. So there is a bad debt recovered. So this Harish, in this particular year, he has recovered the amount of bad debt. He thought it as a bad debt and he recovered in the one of a year. So it is a one income to this Mr. Harish. But this bad debt recovered is not allowed earlier. So this bad debt has not taken earlier as a expenses. On the debit side, they have not taken in the previous year. In earlier year, they have not taken it as a expenses. They have not shown on the debit side of profit and loss account, because of that they have not reduced their profit and they have not paid a less tax, means they have, it is not allowed earlier, that means they have not taken it as expenses. For that bad debt they have paid a tax in that year. So now again they have recovered that bad debt. So 20,000 is recovered. So again he no need to pay a tax on this bad debt. So it should be cancelled from a business income here. So this should be deducted. So this one, so see here, see the format, bad debt recovered disallowed earlier or not allowed earlier, we have to deduct separately. We can deduct separately or we can deduct together also. Answer will be same, but as per format we have to deduct at the end the bad debt recovered and disallowed earlier. So we have to, so here we have to deduct this bad debt recovered not allowed earlier at the end of the format. After calculating all the adjustment, we have to deduct the bad debt recovered not allowed earlier or disallowed earlier, because it is not taken as a business income and it should not be included here. It is a earlier year income and it should not be taken as a business income here. On this income they should not pay income tax, so it should be cancelled from the business income, credit side of business income. So it is deducted from the credit side. So bad debt recovered in this particular financial year, it is not taken as a income and it is not included, it should not be included in the net profit to calculate the taxes. So it is not taken as income, so it should be deducted while calculating the business income. So we have to cancel from this net profit. So because this income is already taxed in that earlier year, in the earlier year it has already taxed on this bad debt. So again when they have recovered it, it is not taken as a income and it should not be included for the taxation. So it should be deducted from the net profit. Next, by refund of income tax. So refund of income tax is not relating to business, so we have to cancel it. Refund, income tax refund means as income tax he paid more income tax, So he received the sum of the refund, whatever the extra amount of income tax he paid, he got refund. So that refund of income tax is not taken as a business income and it should be cancelled. So for the only one treatment for the refund of income tax, and even the bad debt recovered also only once we have to deduct. Then interest on income tax refund. So if an assessee receives any interest income from the income tax refund, that is taken as a income from other source. So this is not a business related income, so it should be deducted from the net profit while calculating the business income, because it is a interest on income tax refund, it is not relating to business income, so it should be cancelled. Again, interest on income tax refund is taken as a other source income. It is a interest income he is receiving from a other source, because this refund of income tax, what the income tax refund he is received, he has invested that amount in somewhere else and he received an interest income on that income tax refund. So that is the income he is receiving from other source. So it should be taxed under the head section 56 of income from other source while computing the gross total income. So interest on income tax refund we have to take two times. One is it should be taken as a disallowed income and it is taxable again under the heading other source head. So refund of income tax is not a income, it is a just a refund. What is the extra paid is getting back. So that is not a income. It is not taken as an income, but interest what he received from an income tax refund, it is the extra income he is receiving. On this income he has to pay a tax under section 56 of Income Tax Act. Then rent received. So he received a rent. So this rent usually receiving from a house property. So this is should be it is not taken as a business income, so it should be deducted while calculating the business income. Again, this rent received we have to take under the head house property. So it is a rent received is a rental income. On the credit side they have given rent, so it is a rent received rental income. So on this rental income it should be taxed under the section 22 of income from house property. So this is a rent given on the debit side, so this is a rent paid. So rent paid is taken as expenses, rent received is a income, but it is not a business related income. Rent usually receiving from a house property which is given for a residential purpose, so it should be taxable under the head house property. It is not a business. Rent what they receive, what Harish is receiving the rent from a house property, it is not a business, it is a income he is receiving from a house property. For that rental income which he is receiving from a house property is taxable under a separate head. So that is a section 22 of income from house property. Next, winning from lottery. So the Harish has received a lottery income here. So the net value of 49,000. This is a income should be taxable under the head income from other source, and it is also not relating to business income. So it should be deducted while calculating the business income as a disallowed income. Two treatment. One is we have to deduct while calculating the business income as a disallowed income or income to be treated separately, and again we have to tax under the head income from other source, because it is a winning from lottery. He is receiving a lottery income, that is the income should be taxable under the head other source. 49,000 is given. The given value is net value. We have to gross up, that I will explain later. Then profit on sale of shares. So he has received a profit income on a sale of shares. So this is a income which should be it is a income, it is not relating to business. It should be deducted while calculating the business income, and again this income on this profit he has to pay a tax under the head capital gain. So profit on sale of shares is taxable under the head capital gain. The 2 lakh value is taxable. So there is a one rule relating to the sale of share, profit on sale of share. So profit on sale of shares is exempt up to 1 lakh. Under the head capital gain we can take it as a exempt up to 1 lakh and to the extent of 1 lakh. So in excess of 1 lakh, if this profit is receiving from a sale of shares in excess of 1 lakh, so that is 2 lakh, so the entire amount is taxable. Okay, this is taxable under the head capital gain, that is under section 45. Then dividend from Infosys. So this is a income, it is not relating to business, should be deducted while calculating business income. And again this is a dividend from a Infosys. Infosys means Indian company. Dividend from an Indian company is exempt under section other source. So under section other source we have to take again, and but we should not take the amount, we have to write exempt. So that is about the credit side of a profit and loss account. Now we'll see the additional information. Here purchase include 30,000 paid in cash. So here on the debit side they have given purchases 6,28,000. In this 6,28,000 there is a purchase amount 30,000 made in the form of cash. So here the rule says that the assessee should not make a payment exceeding 10,000 in the form of cash. So they can make a payment in cash below 10,000. If they are making 10,000 payment in cash in the form of cash exceeding 10,000, then entire amount is disallowed. So the purchases include in this 6,28,000, 30,000 disallowed item is included. So this 30,000 we have to cancel, means we have to add to the net profit. So here it is included. It is actually not allowed business expenses because payment exceeding 10,000 in the form of cash is disallowed. So as a rule says payment exceeding 10,000 in the form of cash is disallowed. So the disallowed amount is included here. So we have to cancel. So to cancel it from a net profit we have to add the 30,000 payment from a net profit. So this addition we have to do while taking these disallowed expenses. We have to take this also. Purchase is also one purchase is expenses. In this there is a one disallowed expense is included. So that is taken as a disallowed expenses, and under the head disallowed expenses we have to take payment in cash exceeding 10,000 we have to take. Then advertisement expenses include cost of neon signboard. So the cost of neon signboard is allowed business expenses. So it is allowed business expenses. So it should be included in the advertisement expenses. It is already included here. So ignore this sentence. No treatment for this. No treatment or we have to do for this adjustment. It is allowed and it is already included in this advertisement expenses. Next third one is GST of rupees 30,000 for previous year 2018-19 paid on 20th Jan 2020 but not included in the above profit and loss account. So GST paid is allowed business expenses. Actually the GST paid is allowed business expenses. It should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. So here GST paid is recorded 2,50,000, but there is a one more GST paid. It is not included in the above profit and loss account. So this is allowable business expenses. So this is a GST paid for the previous year 2018-19. It is paid on 20th Jan 2020. So we are calculating the business income of the assessment year 2020-21. So we are calculating the business income of the assessment year 2020-21. So we are taking the information relating to previous year 2019-20. We are taking the information about the previous year 2019-20. So this is a profit and loss account showing about the year 2019-20. So here in this previous year, if you are paying any taxes, means it is relating to the earlier previous year, that is about 2018-19. So there is a one tax GST of rupees 30,000 of the previous year 18-19 is paid on 20th Jan 2020. Here is paid on the previous year 2019-20. So it is relating to our previous year. It should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account, but they have not recorded in the above profit and loss account. GST paid is allowed expenses of rupees 30,000, which should be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account, but they have not included in the profit and loss account. So this is nothing but allowed expenses not allowed so far. So allowed expenses not allowed so far we have to deduct, because we have to record on the debit side. So to record on the debit side of profit and loss account, from a net profit we have to deduct this value 30,000. So when we deduct 30,000 means it is added to the net profit. Next, actual bad debt amounted to rupees 60,000. So as per income tax, actual bad debt is 60,000, but they have recorded bad debt is 52,000. They recorded less, actually bad debt is 60,000. So here there is a allowable bad debt. So how much allowable? Again still more 8,000 allowable bad debt is there. So that is not recorded in the profit and loss account. 8,000 value of bad debt is not recorded. 8,000 means 60,000 minus 52,000. So they recorded less here. Actually the bad debt amount is 60,000, so 8,000 is not recorded. So to record on this we have to deduct from a net profit. So this is nothing but allowable bad debt not allowed so far. So there is a 8,000 value of allowable bad debt not allowed so far. So under that we have to deduct the actual bad debt amount. So here we should not take 60,000. How to the extent how much we have to record, only to that extent we have to take. So that is nothing but we have to take the value of 8,000 as a allowable bad debt we have to deduct. Then general expenses include 50,000 drawn by assessee. So there is a general expenses debited on the profit and loss account 3 lakh. So this 3 lakh value includes the 50,000 value which is drawn by assessee. So drawn by assessee means he has drawn 50,000 value of amount from a business for his personal use. It is a drawing means it is a personal use. For personal use he has been drawn 50,000. It is included under the general expenses. So it is not relating to the business. It should be cancelled from a net profit. So to cancel from a net profit we have to deduct. We have to to cancel it is we have to add to the net profit. So it is expenses which is recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account, that is under the head general expenses. It is not relating to business, it is a personal expenses. It should not be recorded here. So we have to cancel from this. So to cancel from here we have to add to the net profit. So drawings we have to add 50,000. So only this much. With this information we have to compute the business income as well as gross total income. So we will calculate the business income of Mr. Harish for the assessment year 2020-21. So now write the heading. So now write the heading computation of business income of Mr. Harish for the assessment year. Right here Mr. Harish for the assessment year 2020-21. So draw 3 column particulars and 2 amount column. So we have to start with the net profit as per profit and loss account. Write the net profit. So net profit as per profit and loss account is equal to rupees 34 lakh. Next we have to add the disallowed expenses which are not relating to businesses. So to write the disallowed expenses we have to see the debit side of our profit and loss account. So we will see one by one the debit side of profit and loss account. So the purchases is allowed business expenses. Salaries and wages are allowed business expenses. Rent is allowed business expenses. Advertisement, here relating to advertisement there is adjustment. So advertisement includes cost of neon signboard. So yeah, purchase, here there is one adjustment relating to purchase. So in the purchases it includes 30,000 paid in cash. It is a disallowed. So right, purchase includes payment exceeding rupees 10,000 in cash. Purchase includes payment exceeding 10,000 in cash. So the businesses should not make payment in the form of cash above 10,000. So the 30,000, entire 30,000 is disallowed. So entire 30,000 is disallowed. Next, second one, we'll see the next one. Salaries and wages are allowed, rent allowed, advertisement is relating to this is a expenses includes allowed business expenses. It should be included here, already included, so it is allowed, so no effect, so ignore it. Then traveling expenses is allowed, taken as allowed business expense. Bad debt, here 52,000 is recorded, it is allowed, but still more bad debt should be recorded, so that we have to take under allowable bad debt not allowed so far. If the difference, if they give 60,000 here and the actual bad debt is 52,000, then it is nothing but it is a excess bad debt recorded. For example, here actual bad debt they give 52,000 but they recorded 60,000, means they recorded more, so it should be cancelled. 8,000 we have to add to the net profit as a disallowed expenses. Where in the opposite case, when they recorded less and actual bad debt is more, then we have to deduct. Okay, if debited more, then we have to cancel as a excess bad debt. So we'll see, we'll continue. So bad debt is a allowed business expenses. So next, general expenses. So relating to general expenses there is a adjustment. So this general expenses include 50,000 drawn by assessee. So general expenses includes So general expenses includes the drawings. The amount is how much? 50,000 should be added. Next provision for taxation is a disallowed expenses you have to write. So provision for taxation is a disallowed expense. Addition to office building is a disallowed. Fines and penalties are disallowed. GST allowed. Income tax is disallowed. So write all the 4 points here. Provision for taxation, addition to office building, fines and penalties, and income tax. So after that debit side information is over. GST is allowed. This is not recorded. This is also allowed. We have to deduct. So next is purchases over, advertisement over. This one we have to take later. Bad debt we have to take later. This also over. So debit side over. So totally 6 amount on the debit side. So the total is equal to 9,30,000. So if you add 9,30,000 into 34 lakh is equal to 43,30,000. Next, write the head income to be treated separately. So to write this, we have to see the credit side of profit and loss account. Here by sales is a allowed business income. So from sale they have received a money, sale income. So that is taken as a income for business, and it should be taxed, and it should be included in the net profit of a business. So here remaining all the amount we have to exclude. So interest, write one by one. Interest on FD 10,500. So interest on FD rupees 10,500. Then bad debt recovered, disallowed earlier or not allowed earlier, we will take later. Then refund of income tax is not a business income. So right here. So interest on FD 10,500. Refund of income tax is 30,000. This one we have to write later. Refund of income tax 30,000. Then interest on income tax refund also not relating to business, we have to deduct. Then rent received is not relating to business income, that also we have to deduct. Rent received, it should be taken under the head house property. Then winning from lottery is not a business income, it should be taken here as a income to be treated separately. Then profit on sale of shares and dividend from Infosys. So all the value we have to take excluding the sales. So bad debt recovered also we have to take, but at the end. So in previous problem we have not taken bad debt recovered because bad debt recovered allowed earlier was given, so we should not be deducted. Bad debt recovered disallowed earlier or not allowed earlier, we have to deduct. Okay, so only that much is a credit side info. There is no other disallowed income. So now total it. So it is equal to 4,72,500. So if you deduct the income to be treated separately, the answer will be 38,57,500. Next we have to take the allowable expenses not allowed so far. So debit side items over, credit side item over. So on the additional information we will see is there any allowable expenses which is not recorded in the above profit and loss account. So first point is over, second point also done. Then GST of 30,000 paid in of the previous year 2018-19 is paid in the previous year. It is not included in the above profit and loss account. So this is the allowable expenses not recorded in the above profit and loss account. So GST paid is allowable expenses is not allowed so far or not taken or not debited in the profit and loss account. So GST paid not included in profit and loss account, we have to record to the profit and loss account. So to record we have to deduct. So amount is equal to how much? Rupees 30,000. So next is actual bad debt amount is 60,000, but they have recorded less. So 8,000 still more bad debt we have to record. So that is nothing but allowable expenses, allowable bad debt. So allowable bad debt, still more allowable bad debt is there. So that is actually bad debt is 60,000. In that they have recorded only 52,000, means remaining bad debts we have to record. So remaining bad debt is 8,000, we have to record to the profit and loss account. So to record to the profit and loss account we have to deduct from a net profit under the head allowable expenses not allowed so far. So the total is equal to 38,000. So 38,57,500 minus 38,000 is equal to 38,19,500. 38,19,500. 38,19,500. So as per format, the last item is bad debt recovered disallowed earlier. So now take deduct the bad debt recovered disallowed earlier. So in the question they have given the bad debt recovered disallowed earlier or not allowed earlier. So the value is 20,000. So from the above value we have to deduct the 20,000. So we will get the business income. So that is equal to 37,99,500 is a business income. 37,99,500 is taken as a taxable business income, and it should be taken under this head section 28 of a business income while computing the gross total income. Next, write heading computation of gross total income. So here they are asked to calculate the gross total income of the SSC. So compute the gross total income. So we have to compute the gross total income. So that is adding 5 heads of income. So draw 3 column particulars and 2 amount column. As per first one is section 15 is about the income from salary. So relating to income from salary, we have to see the credit side of profit and loss account. Is there any salary income? So there is no salary income. So the salary income will be nil. So there is a salary on the debit side. Don't confuse here. Debit side 2 salaries and wages. So this is the expenses, salary paid to the employees. It is not a salary income. So here we are taking the gross total income. So we are taking income. So we have to see only the credit side to record the income items. We have to record the income. So it is the salaries given on the debit side, means the Harish has given, as a businessman, he has given a salary to his employees. It is expense to business and it is recorded on the debit side. So that is not a salary income. So here salary income will be nil. Then section 22 is relating to income from house property. So relating to house property, there is a rent received is given here on the credit side of profit and loss account. They have given rent received. So that is a 80,000. So rent received is taken under the head section 22. So there is a rule to calculate the gross annual value when there is no other information like fair rental value, standard rent. So the rent received is nothing but it is taken as a gross annual value. The rent received itself taken as a gross annual value. So the rent received given in the question is how much? It is 80,000. 80,000. So the from rent gross annual value we have to deduct the municipal tax paid. Municipal tax paid by SSC. Paid by SSC or a owner or SSC. So here SSC is nothing but the owner of house. Who is the owner? Harish. So if there is any municipal tax paid is given here for the house property, then we have to take. Here there is no municipal tax paid is given, so it is nil. So annual value is nothing but 80,000. So from annual value, a house property owner can claim a standard deduction. Standard deduction at 30% is calculated on the annual value. So 80,000 into 30% is equal to 24,000 deduction he can claim. And if this house owner, if he had taken any housing loan, for that if he has paid any interest, then that also he can claim a deduction here. So there is no interest on housing loan. So 80,000 minus 24,000 is taken as a business house property income. Income from house property is 56,000. Next is section 28 is relating to business income. So relating to business income, he is engaged in the business and he is earning a income here that is about 37,99,500. So it is taxable under the head section 28 of a business income. That is 7,99,500 should be taxable here. Next section is section 45 is about the capital gain. So under the capital gain, if there is any capital gain income from a sale of any capital asset should be taxable. So there is a income here relating to capital gain, that is a profit from sale of share. So it should be taxable here. So profit from sale of share. Profit from sale of share is taken as a capital gain, income from a capital gain. So gain is nothing but profit from a sale of share is not taken under the head capital gain. So the value here given how much? 2 lakh. So 2 lakh is taxable. So an SSC, if he earn a income from a sale of shares up to up to rupees 1 lakh, he can claim exemption. If he is earning a profit of rupees 1 lakh and below 1 lakh, then he can claim an exemption here. No need to pay a tax on that profit income. But if he is earning a profit more than 1 lakh, then entire profit of that sale of shares should be taxable under section 45. So the last head is section 56, that is of the income from other source. So we'll write income from other source. So see the credit side of profit and loss account. So we'll see one by one. Sales is a allowed business income. So the first one is by interest on FD. So it is once we have deducted and again we have to take it as a other source income. So interest on FD is taxable under section 56. So if a assessee earn an income from a fixed deposit, then it is taxable under section 56 of other source. Here the difference is, here they have given net value. So while calculating the gross total income, so all the value should be under gross. So we have to gross up this value. So the given value how much? 10,500. So it should be gross up, that is 100 by 90. So the why it is 100 by 90 I have explained in the last class. So that is nothing but the net value they have given the net value, that is of 10,500. So it means the tax is deducted here. Tax at 10% is deducted. So we want to find the gross value. Gross is how much? So we don't know what is the gross value here. So we have to find the gross value. We know what is the net value amount and what is the tax rate. So when tax rate is 10%, assuming the gross value as 100, so 100 minus 10 is equal to 90. So the given value 10,500 is given for the 90%. Then for 100% how much? So that is a cross multiplication, 10,500 into 100 by 90. So this calculation we have to show here, 10,500 into 100 by 90. So that is equal to 11,667. The income 11,667 is the gross value. Next, the second income from other source. We have to take the second income here. Bad debt recovered is not a taxable under other source. Refund of income tax is not a income he is receiving from other source. It is just a refund. What is the extra tax, income tax he is paid, he is getting it back as a refund. This is not a income. Then interest on income tax refund. So whatever the interest income he received from a income tax refund, it is taken as other source income. So right here, interest on income tax refund is taken as a other source income. So value given how much? Income tax refund is 3,000. Next is a rent received, that is taken under house property. Next, winning from lottery, it is taxable under the head other source. So winning from lottery should be, the lottery income is taxable under the head other. So see here, they have given net value of 49,000. So here also we have to do the adjustment. So the given value is a net value they have given. So the net value how much? 49,000 they have given as a winning from lottery. So here for the winning also they have given net value, means tax is deducted. So for the lottery income, usually the tax rate will be 30%. So we want gross value. What is the gross amount? We know here net value and the percentage of tax is deducted. So assuming gross as 100 and the tax deducted is 30%. So 100 minus 30 is equal to 70. So the given value 49,000 is for the net, means it is given for 70%. Then for 100% how much? So that is a cross multiplication, 49,000 into 100 by 70. So for the lottery income we have to calculate. If in the question if they give lottery income net value, then we have to take 49,000 into 100 by 70. If they give gross value, then we have to take direct what the amount they give. If they give net value, then we have to take 49,000 into 100 by 70. That is for the lottery income. But in the case of interest on FD or interest on government securities, we have to take 100 by 90. But in the case of lottery income, we have to take 100 by 70. So the given value how much? Always we have to take the gross value. The given value that is the net value given is 49,000. So 49,000 into 100 by 70 we have to do, because for the winnings net value means tax deducted is at 30%, so 100 by divided by 70 we have to do. So that is equal to 70,000. So winning from lottery over. Next, profit and sale of shares also done under the head capital gain. Then dividend from an Indian company, dividend from Infosys. So it is nothing but Indian company. So Indian company dividend is exempt. So the total income from other source is 84,667. So there is no other income. All the incomes are taken. Again. So there is no other income. So the total GTA is adding the 5 heads of income. So that is equal to 41 lakh 40,000. 167. 41,40,167 is the gross total income. Next write note here. We have to gross up the interest on FD and winning from lottery. We have to gross up because they have given the net value. They have given the net value here. Interest on FD and winning from lottery, net value is given, so we have to gross up. So gross up is nothing but we should not take the direct value, we have to take the gross value. The given value is net value, we have to gross up. So that is for the interest on FD, the tax rate deducted is 10%, so we have to take 100 by 90. For the winning from lottery, tax rate deducted is 30%, so we have to take 100 by 70. So it depends on tax rate, we have to take 100 by 70 in the case of lottery income. Interest on fixed deposit 100 by 90. So there is no other tax rate will come, only this interest 10%, and on a lottery income usually 70%. There is no other tax rate will come. So only two types of gross up we will be getting in the illustration. Okay, so that is about the gross up in the case of interest on FD and in winning from lottery. Next, cost of neon sign board. The advertisement including cost of neon sign board is a allowed business expenses. So for that adjustment we have not done any treatment. So write a note about for that. In cost of neon sign board is a allowed business expenses. So it should be included in the debit side of profit and loss account. So it is already included in the advertisement expenses. Then capital gain from a sale of shares is taxable in excess of 1 lakh. So means 1 lakh, to the extent of 1 lakh it is exempt. So if it is a capital gain from a sale of shares is 80,000, then it is exempt. 1 lakh also exempt. So exceeding 1 lakh, the entire amount is taxable under section 45. So that is taken here under section 45, capital gain 2 lakh. So this is about the illustration, fourth illustration.